Hello trail walkers, it is me, the Peachy Pathfinder, and it is 2023. I want to wish everyone a happy new year. The reason why I am coming to you today is that I mentioned before I started the Christmas video that I was going to explain in detail what happened in 2021 in regards to the channel, because it was a little crazy last year, and I wanted to talk about a few topics as to what was going on and what's going to be going on with the channel going forward. Now, one of the first things that I wanted to explain to you is to give you a little background as to what happened in 2021. Now, you know the channel started in 2020. I started with my trail videos. Now, of course, in 2021, we had the world situation where we had a lot of lockdowns occurring. Now, let me tell you what the trails are consisted of, because I do have a video that talks about the structure of the trails. Now, the start points are normally located in buildings that are government buildings or historical landmarks that are usually run by state, local, county, or federal installations. Some of them are private commercial establishments, but a lot of them are usually run by some sort of government entity or government associated entity. With that being said, in 2020, there were certain rules that were surrounding the world situation where I was able to get in and out of those facilities. Now, if you watch my video in regards to the trails, you would have to go in and register in order to start the trail as well as get the trail directions. So I was able to complete certain trails in 2020 and able to do some of those trails and be able to film videos for you. Now, of course, in my area, we only have so many trails. So I was able to do as many trails as I could in my area, and I started to venture outside my area and do trails as well, as long as my budget and my time would allow. And I did a little bit of that going into 2021. However, going into 2021, the few trails that were left over that we had in the area, I was unable to access because, as I stated before, they were government buildings, but because of the world situation, there were certain restrictions that would not allow me to go in there because of adjustments that had to be made. There could have been situations because of reopening that they had to make adjustments because of occupancy. Some places had to be remodeled. Some places had to be shut down. Some places had to be reconstructed because of new occupancy rules based on reopening. So because of that, I was unable to access these places and do the trails and be able to film. So I kind of hope that brings a clarity as to why I was unable to film in the area. So that's one of the reasons why I didn't do that many trail videos in other places in 2021. Now, on a personal note, another reason why I wasn't able to do trails in 2021, for those of you who didn't know, in 2020 I was one of the people who lost, excuse me, the sinuses are running a little bit. I had lost my full-time position due to the world situation in 2020. Significant loss of income. Even though I did qualify for pandemic assistance, I was able to take care of my bills and maintain my residence, which was a blessing. However, I had to think of ways to try to make that money stretch until I was able to obtain employment. I did obtain employment in 2021. I was fortunate enough to get another job. However, that job provided me with income that was less than half of what I was earning in 2020. So I didn't have the budget to really venture out and go out and do the trails and be able to maintain the budget that I had in order to film, do equipment and software and things like that in order to do videos for you. So needless to say, financially it affected me emotionally, and I really just didn't know what to do in regards to the channel I was able to put up a few things here and there, but I was at a point after a while when I really just started to get a little depressed, and I just didn't know what to do in regards to the channel. And to be honest with you, there were some times where I was just going to shut it down, really. Um, but I was encouraged by friends and family members to keep it going and not to just let it go. YouTube also had some regulations that were coming through and changes, and me being a new creator and never doing a channel before, it became overwhelming. So that, paired with the fact of the financial strain and the lack of the budget and not being able to access the trails, it just seemed overwhelming for me in 2020. Um, I had a lot of adjustment I needed to make and a lot of decisions to make as to what I was going to do. And I finally decided just a couple of months ago that I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to push through. I'm going to push through and figure out what to do with the channel. I dabbled and experimented with a couple of content ideas. And then finally, I said to myself, I'm just going to stick with the original idea. I'm going to go ahead and stick with the original trail idea. I'm going to go ahead and push the walking trails, push the travel, and I'll put up some occasional things in regards to ideas I may come up with, like anything that might be helpful to you guys. Like, for instance, if I come across any information I might think that might be helpful to you in regards to lifestyle, I'll put that up. But the overall premise is going to be the general idea that I had in the first place, and that is to encourage recreational and non-competitive walking, encourage travel. I'm going to keep the original 3 series that I had in the beginning. And the 3 series are as follows. All Trails Virginia is going to include all the trails inside the state of Virginia. Venturing Out is going to include all walking trails that are outside the state of Virginia. And Off the Trails is going to be all content that's not related to walking trails at all. And that's going to include any travel vlogs. I'm going to go back to my weekly trails schedule of Monday. So they're going to be a video starting next Monday of trail videos that are going to be uploaded starting at midnight. So starting next Monday, you're going to see weekly trail videos. Okay, so the last thing that occurred in 2021 is that a couple of health conditions popped up that I had to deal with as well. And discussing them with my doctor, they were stress related, associated with the financial situation. So I went through a lot of changes in 2021 where I had to make some major adjustments. The good news is that in 2022 things started to come around a little bit, where I had to, go ahead and try to transition. So it was kind of like a adjustment period quite a bit for me. Um, the past year and a half has really been crazy, topsy-turvy. So that's why I was kind of in and out a bit. So the good part about it is that my job situation has changed for the better, which is good. My health condition is changing and improving, which is great. And now I am more focused and I'm back on track, and I'm basically going back to a place where I'm just going to stick with the original plan as far as the channel is concerned. Focus on the trails, focus on the travel, because that's what you guys are here for. You're not here for anything else. I do have an Instagram channel that focuses on another aspect of another area. And I do have quite a following there. You're welcome to go to my Instagram channel. It's under the same handle, which is the Peachy Pathfinder. But as far as the channel here, I will be posting weekly videos every Monday starting next week. Now there's one last thing I'm going to address, and then I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up for the day. If you notice that when I first started the channel back in 2020, I did do giveaways because it was suggested that that was a good way for me to kind of encourage people to get involved with the channel and establish a media presence. And it was okay in the beginning. But me being a new creator, I was not aware of scams. I was not aware of how they worked in regards to gift cards and things like that. I thought it would be a great idea to give back, especially since we were in economic turmoil and people weren't in need. So in the beginning, I was doing a monthly $50 gift card giveaway. First, I was mailing the gift cards, but that turned out to be a very expensive thing because I was looking at my analytics and realized that there were a lot of people who were my viewers that did not live in the U.S., and shipping gift cards was astronomically expensive. I did it anyway for several months, and I felt good about that, but the shipping cost just grew and grew and grew to the point where where they were all over 50% of the cost of just even sending the gift cards. It was just absolutely ridiculous. It was just absolutely ridiculous. So I couldn't do that. So with that being said, if you notice, I did post a video a couple of weeks ago in regards to a scam that is being posted online. Every now and again, if I do come up with something that I think that might be helpful to you, it will go under the off the trails category that I think that might be helpful to you as a consumer. I'll go ahead and do that. Now, I have received suggestions from people that maybe I should start a second channel involving scam busting. There are a lot of channels that are on YouTube and other social media outlets that are scam busting. Scam busting takes a lot of work, people. It really does. And with the new job and working on this channel, it's a good idea, but it does take a lot of investigative work, and I don't see myself doing that right now. Thanks for the suggestion, and I'm very flattered at that, but I don't think I'm going to go into the scam busting type thing. But for those of you who are interested in that video, it is listed in my lineup. I'm hoping that it's helpful, but as far as giveaways go, I think I might do some product giveaways in the future, but I can't tell you if that's going to be happening anytime soon. In the meantime, your next trail video will air next Monday starting at 12 midnight Eastern Standard Time. Okay? Hopefully this clears things up for you, and thank you very much for your time, and I hope you enjoy your 2023.